recording now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, what I'm doing a video about Dumageddon, and I've actually got some footage with the camera coming in, the ground coming up, and walking down the steps, looking across the tarmac, seeing where it says arrivals and the baggage, and where you go get a taxi, and even further where you go get a trike. And I've just found it such a fascinating place. So many kind people.
Yeah.
First day I was sitting over there and sitting by myself. Been here less than 24 hours. Goldfinger says, "Come on over and sit down, join me, sit down." And then Dexter, the next guy. And pretty soon, probably by noon, between 9 and noon, I met like 5 or 6 people that I would feel comfortable walking up and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Right.
You know?
Right. I think
Obviously
that's
not-
one of the draws for Dumageddon. Once guys get here, is the accessibility to information via other foreigners, other expats. And right here at ground zero is ground zero for all that. This is where pretty much everybody comes. It's, it's air conditioned, it's cool, people are comfortable here, they have food, they have all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of a one-stop shop.
Yeah, and I think that people that, if you come here in the morning, you'll have friends by noon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I actually met you
Yep.
here the first time that you were.
Well, you got a lot of guys here with nothing but time, and they're friendly, and they understand your situation. They were new, they got help, and everybody kind of pays it forward.
Now, is Dumageddon the first place you came when you came to the Philippines?
And, well, yeah. Technically, the first place was Cebu, because I spent 24 hours there. And then I got on a bus the next day, and I came to Dumageddon, and never looked back. I mean, I've traveled since then. I've been out of the country and been to other islands and all that good stuff, but I always end up back here.
Yeah, you were headed to your father's, and our planes probably passed in the air.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, the same.
That was, about a year and a half ago or something like that?
Yeah, it was like March 3rd or 2nd.
Yeah. March 3rd is my father's birthday, so...
Probably the 2nd. Well, I left
No,
San
I'm
Diego.
wrong. That's one of my kids' birthdays. March 14th is my dad's birthday.
Well, at least you remember a family birthday. I left San Diego on the 28th.
No kidding.
And I got here the 3rd, so our planes were crossed in there.
What brought you over here? What was your motivation?
Well, San Diego's got pretty expensive.
Yeah?
There was a lot of political stress, always in your face, no way to get really away from it.
How does that occur? Because that's new to me. I mean, I've been here almost 7 years, and I never felt that when I lived over there. I didn't feel any political
It wasn't there
stress.
7 years ago.
And I went back a year and a half ago, and I didn't feel any of it, but I was kind of isolated. I was in a hotel in Vegas on the Strip, so it was mostly strip people in Vegas, and then I was at my sister's house up in the high desert. There's not a lot of commotion there. That's a retirement community. So
It's just gotten so divisive. And I mean, relationships break up, friendships break up, long-term friendships, just because people are so militant about their particular point of view.
yeah,
And I don't want to get side to side on that because it doesn't matter. But
Doesn't.
everybody can acknowledge that it actually exists. It doesn't matter whether what you think about the war in Israel. Everybody thinks about it.
right.
And
Right.
so here, not so much.
No, guys here, once you've retired and you put all that behind you and you come out here, it's a real good opportunity to be selfish. It's time to treat yourself to a little something. And how do you want to spend your day? Do you want to spend your whole day debating some particular point about a president or a vaccine or this or that? Or do you want to just go out and have a good time? And maybe that is your idea of a good time. Then find a like-minded individual and sit down and debate with them all day. But you can do that back at home.
You don't need to leave there to do that. If you want to do that, don't come here. I mean, it's not a lot of people really desire to sit down and do that.
No, there's few. There's a few. There's always going to be a few, and I know who they are, and that's okay. I just don't engage with them. Is all. I say hello and I keep on moving. So
It's a peaceful place. I mean, honestly, can you remember the last time you saw an angry Filipino shouting at somebody
one time
in 7 years?
in 7 years.
I haven't seen it in 20 months.
Yeah, I believe that. In fact, I was in shock and awe that this guy teed off on a friend of mine who had parked in his space was the thing. It was like road rage. And this guy, my friend, is disabled, so he thought he was pulling into a handicap place. And he was wrong. It wasn't. And this other guy, I won't tell you the whole story, but this guy got out of his car and just ripped into him. And I thought, oh, you don't see this every day. So one time.
Yeah, it's just the culture is so different. I mean, it's more different today than it was 7 years ago. And people sitting on the fence, and they're not happy there. I know that with the expenses in San Diego, I would have had trouble renting a studio. And here, I could travel 365 days a year.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's the primary driver for me coming here to begin with was purely economic. I had been to Asia. I fell in love with the culture back in '05. And I knew that I thought I was going to go in Thailand because that's where I started off back in '05. And then when it came time to retire, I started the research process and changed my mind and said the Philippines. And then I figured once I got to the Philippines, Thailand's 4 hours away if I change my mind. Vietnam's 4 hours away. Bali's 5 hours away. So it's so easy to travel all those countries once you're here, and I've been to 3 or 4 of them. And at the end of the day, I'm there for less than a month, and I'm ready to come back here. It's not perfect. It's not nirvana, but there's just a comfort zone. What I feel like I found here is what I longed for back home. I got serenity. I got friends. I have a loving wife. I got 2 dogs. And I can go out if I want to. I have that leisure time where at retirement, where I've got my check coming in from Social Security, that allows me to budget very, very easily. I got this much coming in, I got that much going out, and if I go over that, shame on me.
But what I found is in America we make friends, and here we make family. It's just kind of like that.
That's a good way of putting it.
I think that the people here, when they accept you as a friend, you're accepted unconditionally until you really screw up. And
well, you know what a lot of it is? What is your age? I don't even know.
68. I'll be 69 December.
Okay. Same as me.
Same as you.
Same as me. We're at that stage of the game where a lot of the nicky-nacky stuff is no longer important. We just it's all that water's under that bridge already. And we're just at a much more laid-back, comfortable acceptance stage of life.
Yeah, I mean, I was very materialistic.
Me too.
I mean, I wanted the Rolex, I wanted the Rolls Royce. That was literally me in my 30s. And spent a few years keeping stuff in storage because collecting it all was. And now that I'm here, I really don't miss it. I don't care.
No, that's where the stress comes in from, is stuff and bills and overhead.
I had furniture that I couldn't give away. I went down to give it to the Goodwill and Father Joe Carroll's. They would not take it for free because no one would buy that high-end furniture. And I had a Baker couch. Anyway. So now, even the Salvador Dalis, which were my big thing in life, I gave it to my son. I could not possibly care less. I do not miss it, and I did not bring the responsibility with me to take care of that stuff, to see that nothing happened to it because it was so valuable.
Right.
So it's a huge becoming a minimalist never even occurred to me.
No, but here's the dealio. It's like when I waited 5 years because I have this thing about needs and wants. Do I want something? Do I need something?
Yeah.
And in America, when I was in my 30s, 40s, 50s, well, I wanted it. I wanted that new TV. I wanted that new car. I wanted whatever we're talking about here. Anything that is not necessary. And when I came over here, it came down to, well, do I need that? And recently, I've been living in this house. It's got its nuances. It's got a very small kitchen. The bathroom's not all that comfortable. It's got this. It's got that. And my wife and I, we went and we looked at all these little more upper end places. And every time we walked out of it, I already knew the answer, but I turned to her and I go, well, what do you think? She goes, it's too expensive. It's too much. And I said, you're right. And I get a lot more satisfaction at the end of the month of saving $200 or $300 that I would have blown on that new apartment, where I watch my bank balance just go up and up and up and up. And it's never done that before. I used to get a bank balance and then it would go right out the window, paying for the proverbial stuff.
People say, well, you can't live on that. You can live, but you can't really live on that. It's like, I can, because I don't have to have all those things.
Yeah.
So, in traveling, I'm staying in this hotel up the street. It's 1,000 pesos. Nice hotel. How nice is this? I can live there for a month. Life is just easy that way because it's not so expensive, and we don't have to collect all these things.
No. Denzel Washington says is you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. Yeah, I love that line, and I think about that all the time. And I look at things, and I saw a piece of art the other day that I liked, and I said, why would I buy that? It's just, I can look at it online. I don't need to have it hanging on the wall. It's a different mindset. I don't know if it's my age. I don't know if it's the fact that priorities have shifted, or if the Philippines has just done its thing on me. I think it's a combination probably of all three.
Well, you and I had similar backgrounds, both from Southern California, both in the finance business, and probably a few other things. And since I got here, I just don't need it.
You know what?
I don't need it.
No.
I don't miss it.
Well, you didn't need it then either. You just didn't realize it.
No, I did.
You wanted it.
No, I know what you said. I agree with you. But you couldn't tell me I didn't need it.